It's very nice. There's a whole lot of information that an advance club will send out about what just happened. Special occasions. Some advance clubs actually have special occasions where they will dress up and be somebody, a famous personality, for one entire meeting. And if they can, they will talk like that person and personify them. I myself, one time, at a meeting, was Vincent van Gogh. That wasn't too far out for me. And I've seen people be Jane Goodall. I saw a Man in Black. I can't remember which particular actor that was. And I saw someone be a lady that got her neck whacked. Yeah, that's the one.
Marie Antoinette.
The other presenter that was here at the fall conference in Yakima.
Bruce Meeker?
No, it wasn't Bruce.
Emmy.
Bruce's girlfriend.
Emmy.
Oh.
Emmy Hager.
Yes.
She was the one.
Oh.
Marie Antoinette. And she dressed. She'd just been to France, in fact, and she dressed in the outfit with the, the big fluffy skirt and all that kind of stuff. And she did it extremely well. And she told us about all of the life of Marie Antoinette. That's one of the interesting things that you will get from an advanced club when you see these special meetings. Business meetings. Is there anyone in here that likes business meetings, that knows exactly what is supposed to happen and how to conduct them? Yeah, you would. Probably Deborah does too. It's hard to get a handle on that. I'm lost when I try that. But what happens if you have a monthly business meeting? In a regular club, a monthly business meeting just usually means that the officers get together before the meeting or something like that, or after the meeting. In an advanced club, they save the last 10 or 15 minutes of the club meeting to have a business meeting. What happens? Dale would come up here to the lectern, and he would ask for reports from all of the different club officers. They would give the reports. Kathy could say that she used stamps to email, or not email. She used stamps to mail a bunch of letters out for memberships. And she would like to be reimbursed for that. Right then and there, the club can make a motion, to reimburse her, and someone can second the motion if that's what needs to be done. I don't know, John, but that can all be handled. And you can actually learn how to run a meeting, more or less, just by sitting there at these business meetings that happen once a month. It's a big benefit because when you're in Toastmaster, there's a lot of propaganda about learning how to run meetings. And sometimes you don't learn how to run meetings. But in an advanced club, you get a second chance at learning that. And it's very valuable, especially if you move up the ladder in Toastmasters or you go out into the community. They probably expect that you know how to run a meeting or chair a meeting. Officer training. Officer training is something that's a little different in advanced clubs also. Usually, once a year, an advanced club will sponsor an officer training. They will do the officer training. They will do it. They will just take care of it. It gives them the opportunity to do longer presentations, some of the modules that Toastmasters have that require breakout sessions and different things. It gives them the opportunity to do that and improve themselves, and it also gives a support to the people that are like area governors, division governors, and the district. An advanced club is a support group for everyone else. It really is. Right here. Supports the officer training and the conferences. We had a conference here in Yakima. And we did it all of ourselves. It was just a bunch of members from different clubs thrown together. I was recently at a club, or a conference in District 2, up at the casino, Mount Vernon, I think it was. And what happened? One of the advanced clubs just said, let's take care of hospitality. They did it. They took care of hospitality. And the group that was putting on the conference didn't have to worry about hospitality any longer. The advanced club just did it. They made the signs, they directed you, they told you all about it, they did the meal things and figured out what was going to happen here, and they just did that segment of the conference. It was great. I stood around with a little sign in my hand. But can you imagine if when we put on the Yakima conference, if someone had stepped up and said that they would take a big chunk of that away from us? Would that have been nice? Yes, because when you put on conferences, when you put on training sessions, you usually have your hands full. And you can see, there's a lot more that advanced clubs have to offer, but I ran out of blackboard. I would like to open this up for some questions right now. Does anyone have any questions about an advanced club? Doug?
Dan, can you just tell us how Yakima decided to start an advanced club?
Oh, yes. You touched on that already. That is a very good point. We were kind of thrown together, putting on a conference. And that worked out really well. And so we decided to stay together and do high-performance leadership. And the high-performance leadership was making a playbook on how to put on conferences, because we could see when we were putting on the conferences that we were in the dark. So we put together a manual that is kind of a guide for other people that are going to put on conferences. And that worked really well also. We all got high-performance leadership credit for doing that. And we thought, well, maybe we should do an advanced club. We had a core group. We had this ball that was rolling and was getting bigger as it rolled. And we're just kind of giving it little taps and keeping it rolling and making it go bigger, making it grow bigger. Because when the bigger it gets, I think, the more personal worth or personal satisfaction we're going to have. And we're going to be able to share that with other people in the district. And other people in the whole Yakima, as far as that goes. Whether they're Toastmasters or not. That's basically how it got started, and I'm hoping that we're going to keep it going, and this ball will get bigger and bigger and bigger. Questions?
I noticed there isn't any table topics on there. Is that a part of the advanced clubs?
Table topics? I left that out. Table topics is definitely a part of your home clubs. Table topics are usually not a part of an advanced club. They usually spend the time on speaking and evaluating. Sometimes there are 2 or 3 speeches that are 10 to 12 minutes long. And they don't try and squeeze table topics in there. They think, the reasoning being, that when you belong to an advanced club, you also belong to a home club. The feeling is that you just get the table topics, enough table topics in the home club where you can concentrate on the longer speeches and the longer, more intense evaluations here without taking the time for table topics. Carmen?
Do you have a grammarian and a general evaluator?
Yes. Yes, there are grammarians and general evaluators, just like in a regular club. Sometimes it's set up differently than a regular club. It can, regular clubs can be set up differently also. The general evaluator can introduce the evaluators, or the general evaluator can just, have the Toastmaster introduce the evaluators and things like that. But yes. Deborah?
How often do advanced clubs meet?
Usually once a month. That gives you a little slack. It gives you more time to prepare a longer presentation. And it doesn't burn you out. Like once a week, if you were doing meeting 4 times a month, and you were doing longer presentations once a week, that might be a little too much. They generally meet once a month. That fulfills your requirement to Toastmasters International, and it gives you just about the right time to really get psyched for a speech or an evaluation.
2 points. One is, wouldn't it make sense to apply all this energy here to strengthening the existing clubs? That's one question. Second question is there a manual that goes with this?
The manuals that go with this are the manuals that go with this. When you're in an advanced club, you do the advanced manuals and you do the basic manuals. You can go right through here doing your CC manuals. Let's visualize for a second here that this cake, this would be considered your CC manual, this would be considered your advanced manual, and this would be considered your leadership. That's generally the way it goes. You build a foundation down here, with your competent communicator manual, and then you have some advanced communicator manuals, and then you finally get the hint, if you're like me, that maybe I should do a little something in leadership here. And so the manuals are the same. You can take those competent communicator speeches, the first 10 speeches, and you can lengthen them out. You just, the first one is 4 to 6, and the next one is 5 to 7 and everything in the manuals. And you can make those 10 to 12, you can make them 18 to 20, you can lengthen them out. Because you can keep doing that competent communicator manual over and over and over again. It's not a one-time thing. You can do it over and over, as well as all of the other manuals. You can do them again and again and again. You have to be careful about how you stack them and turn them into Toastmasters International to get credit for them, but you can do them again and again and again. You can get 15 BPMs. Go through the competent communicator manual 15 times if you want, 20 times.
What about using the energy here to strengthen the existing clubs?
We are.
In what way?
If you're an advanced club, you're also going to be in a home club. In the home club, you're doing all of this stuff. In the advanced club, you're doing that. You're going to be bringing that stuff back to here. Dance clubs are very, very efficient. You learn efficiency. You learn these things down here about the secretary. You learn these things about special occasions, about monthly business meetings. You learn all that. It's intended that you don't keep this here, that you share it with this. If you happen to be a secretary in an advanced club, I can guarantee if you're a secretary at a home club also, that you're probably going to take those emails and plug it right into your home club, which will strengthen your home club because it strengthens the communication among all of the members. If you're the membership person in one of these clubs, or you learn about the membership in one of these advanced clubs, you're going to start applying this to these home clubs. I can guarantee that. I've seen it done. I've seen people that are in advanced clubs, and all of a sudden, the light comes on in their home club. Because they've learned all these new techniques, all these new things that they can do in Toastmasters, and they apply them back to the home club. Does that answer your question or not?
Yes.
Okay. Adrian.
Dan, are there any minimum educational leadership requirement to join an advanced club?
Competent communicator.
CC?
CC. Sometimes you can get into specialty clubs, or they will at least let you speak at a specialty club if you happen to be a professional speaker. If you happen to have a professional speaking background, you can come in there. Well, let me back up on that one. Professionally speaking, in Bellevue Square at the Microsoft store, the vice president of public relations